Welcome to UBU Live, a special Wednesday edition with my favorite guest, Phillip Thomas. Phillip is a triple threat. We'll let him explain to you all those threats that he is. But the first thing he has up there is winemaker, and that was new. We talked, maybe 6 months ago, and you had just won a couple of competitions.
Mhm.
Am I allowed to say what your day job is?
Yeah, go for it. I'm fine with
Okay. So Phillip and I met when I don't know if you knew I actually purchased IBG stores at one point
that.
from
Didn't
the
know that.
Tysons. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
But Phillip was my FedEx rep, and made sure I had best pricing on everything out there. I negotiated some really phenomenal pricing. Every time I would talk to him, he would say, "I don't know how you did this."
Yeah, every time. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know how you got this pricing, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
And for those of you out there working in e-commerce, or want to get into e-commerce, your shipping is the biggest expense outside of the product cost. So it's very important. I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to tell them my secrets, but it's very important that you pay close attention to your rates, um, especially now, because as we go through the turbulence of tariffs and everything else, we're going to see the rise and fall of gas prices, and gas prices directly affect your shipping cost. So watch that very closely. Make sure it's factored into your cost of goods. My feeling, and I don't know if you have any feelings about this, Phil. My feeling is that as we reduce jobs in America, because I think we lost 270,000 last month, we're going to see gas pricing lower, because even during COVID, um, when we stopped going into the office, the gas prices went down because there was less demand. But that could shift because we're not importing from other countries either, so it could actually go up. So just be aware of that. Um, so that's my serious point of the day. So Phillip,
What's up, man? How you doing?
tell me how. Hold on. My favorite little guy has appeared.
Yeah.
Ethan, how do you like your banner?
I hear you.
You like that? Or should I change it? I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Yeah.
Still can't hear you. You wanna work on that? Ethan has a whole setup there.
And I feel naked, man.
I do
Yeah.
too. Like I'm the podcast host, and he has like the headphones.
Y'all
He
should
has a
switch
mic
places.
that's gonna make him.
There you
Yes,
go.
and you sound like a radio host.
Yeah,
Like
Y'all
I
what
do
gotta
have
is
a
switch.
good,
this?
I have a good computer and setup and everything. So,
Oh,
What
man.
type of mic is that?
That
it's just
Yeti?
a Blue Yeti.
Yeti. Yeah, I got a Yeti too.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the back.
Then why aren't
It's
you
half
using
dead.
it?
I actually
I
don't
use it
have
for
like
auditions.
speakers, so I need to have the headset on. I don't have like
Mhm.
a speaker.
Okay. The banner? I need you to approve your banner. What does it say? Okay, so that localminutes.com is my brother's. UBU.live is this. WilliamRochelle.com is me. The Honeypot Lounge is my daughter's. Phillip Thomas is the guy that we're looking at right there. This is winemaker. And then Ethan Sperling is in crisis.
Yes, I'm always in crisis.
So do you want to explain that so it doesn't make you sound like you're crazy?
Yeah, I mean, I just work for a risk management company. We just provide like executive protection and security, and credit
Oh,
assessments.
okay. Okay. So you're still there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. I really appreciate you coming on. Um, I've worked with many people throughout my career. Ethan and Chris Cadet are two people that I met at my last, the last company I was with. I was there for a year. Great company.
Mm-hmm.
And Ethan was someone that was underutilized. I think that's the best way to say it, right? He had tons of potential, and they had him in a corner, just typing out things. And I took him and said, look, I need a right hand. And so he kind of helped me revise, rebuild, and bring a better, smarter, faster product, from an operational standpoint. And if anyone has listened to any of my podcasts or anything I talk about, I do my best, and I hope you feel this way, Ethan. I do my best to build the leaders of tomorrow. I do my best to give them the tools and the voice so that they can grow. And
Froze a little bit there, Will.
huh?
You froze a little bit there, but you're good now.
I froze. No, I stopped talking for a second.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I do that when I'm thinking. And it was tragic for me when there are two things. There's a personal level, there's a professional level. It was tragic for me when Ethan came and said, hey, I have a, I don't want to say better opportunity, I have a different opportunity. Because he had gone from that corner to running the show. And that's really what I want to do. I want to give people those tools so that the company can survive with or without me, and it can do actually better with or without me. And so when he left, I was very proud of him. I was like, yay, go ahead. And then I was like, dang.
Yeah. And
yeah.
that was fun. I only stayed there for a year for that one, and then I got this new opportunity where I'm at now. And I mean, honestly, thanks to you, it was I did succeed and then get this job that I have now, which is an amazing job. So
it's really not thanks to me. It is you, but someone saying that you can do more than what you're doing now. And I think that was missing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that God, you have to speak in a way where it doesn't sound like you're bashing anyone, which I'm not. But I don't think that anyone took the moment to look at you in the eye and talk to you and understand what you could actually bring to the table. Does that feel accurate?
Yeah, I mean, it was some of that. I mean, some of it was probably, my own doing just because of, people I was dealing with back there and everything. So I would, be a little petty sometimes, but you learn from that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Mr. Phillip.
Yeah.
My FedEx guy. So you are someone that makes things happen. And when I say make things happen, you are probably one of the top guys at FedEx. I think that you're looking to get into some club, Golden Club. Can you kind of tell us about that?
Well, I'm in the running right now for Ambassadors Club or President's Club. It's like one of the highest awards you can achieve. President's the top, and then Ambassadors the second. But I'll let you go ahead and brag about that. You go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one thing I loved about FedEx, we're spending basically $4 million or more a month with you guys, from what I remember. But man, I got all of the FedEx boxes for football games and fishing trips and amazing dinners. I love all. For me, buy me a lobster and a good dinner, and you have all of my business. I'm easy like that. But he also, do you have do you have you ever been diagnosed with like ADD? Because you are like all
I'm
over
glad
the
you
place.
mentioned that. I am so glad you mentioned that because I was on a date with this one girl. She's like, wow, you're into acting, comedy, you make wine, you're excelling within FedEx, I think you may be experiencing a little high functioning autism.
I don't think you have autism.
I don't know. One girl called me. She said you're just a Renaissance man, but I'm
What?
just a Renaissance man. A
Oh, okay.
Renaissance man. I'm just curious. Whatever I'm curious about, it's hard to sleep if I don't do something to work towards that. And most of the time I'm my own biggest cheerleader, so I just don't know how to quit, honestly.
And the reason why I asked is because you have your hand in everything. Like,
yeah.
I was watching television, and all of a sudden a commercial comes on, and you walk through my living room. I'm like, when did he become an actor? And then I talk to you, or I look at your page, and you're on stage doing stand-up comedy, and then I call you, and haven't spoken to you in like years, and you told me you were going through a life change, but you also said that you had just won awards for the wines that you're making.
Yeah,
and
that too.
You promised me that you were going to send me some wine, and I have not yet to receive it, Ethan.
I got plenty of bottles for you, buddy. Yeah.
Okay. So Ethan will give. I'll give you my address and Ethan's address, and you can send us every flavor of wine that you make for free, because we don't pay for shit. Oops. I mean, nothing.
I'll send you the shipping and handling costs, and we'll go with that. Just hit me up with the shipping and handling. We're good to go. Yeah.
Okay. So this is how we're going to do it. All right. Okay. So since I'm facilitating it, you're going to send the shipping and handling cost bill to Ethan, because he has a job and I don't. And so he'll pay for both of our shipping and handling.
Really?
And then you send. Hey, but you know what? I have a friend that works for FedEx, so I'm pretty sure that he could probably ship something to both of us on his personal FedEx account.
Okay, we got to address. We got to address that real quick. Everything will be coming to you. Everything will be coming to you at the expense of Ethan via UPS, because FedEx.
What?
FedEx we receive perks to ship at a discounted rate, but we cannot use it for our business on the side. So I will never ship you anything business related with FedEx. It'll be coming UPS. Let's get that out there. Disclaimer.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. So even personally, if you paid for it yourself, you couldn't ship?
It's too close. I'm just gonna ship everything UPS. It's too close because I don't really know who's completely on my side as far as what I'm doing afterward. And so I'm not trying
and that's your main source right now. So I wouldn't mess it up. So we'll just get you Ethan's credit card.
There we go.
We'll put it
in the chat box.
We'll put it in chat box right now. So kind of talk to us. The reason why I wanted Ethan really on this show is because I wanted a lighter show, and I knew that Ethan would bring it. He's funny as hell, and he has a quirky sense of humor. Most of y'all may not get it, but it's there.
Everybody's different.
And I didn't want him on one of the deeper shows, although he could be. The last show he was on, and I'm going to bring this up because I like going back, and I want to hear your response to this, Phillip. But remember, you have to be politically correct because we already mentioned you were for FedEx. All right. So in our last show, Ethan was texting me because the guy said, "A man can sleep with a man and not be gay." Answer that, Phillip.
Wow. I thought we were talking about wine and acting.
Put him on the spot.
Well, I feel like, I used to live in California. I feel like you can do what you want to do. I mean, who am I to judge? I make mistakes all the time. And my dad once told me, I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to do all this and that. But I'm like, Dad, you had me, you was 18. I'm making mistakes. I had my daughter when I was 30. So, I mean, what a man decides to do with his part, what he decides to do. So I'm no one to place a label on anyone about anything. I know people label me all the time, but that's not my role. I'm just
right on. That's actually, at first I thought you were avoiding the question.
No.
But you actually answered it. Good.
I did.
Good.
Okay.
And people have put labels on you. I was at a Heat game with my friend from Venezuela, Javier Rasquitas, and Javier looked at you and said, "He looks like Kevin Hart."
Oh, I get all kinds. I get Kevin Hart, a short Wesley Snipes, the
A short
Brazilian
Wesley
fighter.
Snipes. If someone called me a short Wesley Snipes, I would throw a drink at them.
No, it's fine. I'm like, okay, that's your.
Have
your
you seen Wesley Snipes?
Also,
that's not a
a short
compliment.
TO. And a short TO. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who's TO? That might be
Terrell Owens.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. Now I can see that.
Yeah.
But Wesley Snipes, I would be boxing. Like
Blade.
Yeah.
I pay my taxes, you know?
Right.
Let me stop. He cool though. I like him. Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of like, where do you want to go with this conversation? Because there's been so many changes since you and I actually have been in the same company. Meaning you were living in Miami, you moved to Atlanta, and then all these things just started happening. Why'd you move to Atlanta, by the way? To be closer to your dad?
Everything it seems random, but it's not. It's all.
It seems like ADHD.
No, you know, on the outside, but on the inside, it's like it's beautiful. You know how everything is working out. Because as a kid, I've always wanted to live in California or Florida. Right? I love the beach scene, but when I
moved to Georgia,
yeah, I always want to move to California or Florida. Right? So after Mississippi State University. Right, again. So I always want to move to California, Florida. So I moved to California. I did the personal training. I was in Silicon Valley. Financially, I was
personal training.
Yeah, my major is fitness management. My degree is kinesiology, study of movement.
Do you want to show them your?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't show off a lot. I just like to encourage people to hit their goals. You know,
Ethan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't follow up after that.
But no, the goal was to move to California or Florida as a personal trainer. I accomplished that goal going to California after graduating from Mississippi State, and financially it wasn't really working. So I'm like, well, this is not what I envisioned. It was not the beachy scene, it was Silicon Valley. So I had envisioned like LA or San Diego. So I was like, how can I still get to Florida now? So financially, I was suffering. Credit score was down to 530. You know, they was threatening to come get the car. And so I said to my customers, say, look, I like training you, but I got to do something different. I said, what should that be? They said, Phillip, you like to talk a lot. How about sales and marketing? So eventually I got with sales with FedEx. And I'm like, what if I can get to Florida? I partially got with FedEx. They're a great company. And also because I realized that with FedEx, I could probably make a lateral move or promotion. I never got that promotion. So I made a lateral move to Atlanta, Georgia, doing inside sales. And eventually I got a promotion to South Florida, right? And then, you know, had a kid with the ex-wife. And I realized that we was missing out on a lot of communication, interaction with my mother and family, my father and all that in Mississippi. So I moved back to Georgia to be close to them. Now, the first time I arrived back in Georgia, and the second time I came back, still today, it's like, I missed the beachy scene, but what does Georgia has to offer? So that's when I got involved with acting. That's when I got involved with doing comedy. And, you know, I think I told you before that I had a lifestyle change. The divorce situation came up as things were kind of not going well. I took up a hobby just to kind of keep my mind in a positive space. I started making wine, won some awards, and now, you know, Louis Wines, here it is right here. So when you think about it, things didn't always go the way I wanted them to go, but they still went in a positive direction because my mindset was always still in a positive manner. So you see, so it's nothing random. It's just, I'm just going through life. And my overall goal is to kind of help inspire others to do the same, especially when things don't go the way you plan for them to go. So
absolutely. You know, I did a thought of the day yesterday, and I actually forgot what it was supposed to be about when the cameras came on. So I did a random one, and then I'm like, oh no, that really wasn't the thought of the day. The thought of the day is this. And what my thought of the day was for yesterday is to share your story. Yeah. Because we all share our successes, right?
Right.
Everyone shares their successes. People don't talk about the times that they were sitting down and crying in their soup, or
Yeah.
buying a business and then COVID knocking it out, and me not having a job. In the middle of the night, I go to my neighbors and I siphon gas out of the cars to put in the mine. It's just a mess.
Yeah, it is a mess. That's a crime. That's a crime.
It's only a crime. It's only a crime if they find out, right? I mean, come on, give me some grace here. That's why Ethan's paying for the shipping. That ain't a joke, Ethan.
Thanks, Ken, for the shout out. Yeah, Kenny gave me a shout out for the guns. Thank you for that. I saw that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Kenneth. Also, if anyone wants to come on here and be part of the panel with us, let me know. I actually included a link to come backstage in one of the invites on my post. The more the merrier, because this is just going to be a blast. So you did share that you are going through a divorce. Or
I'm done.
Gone through a divorce. Okay.
I'm a free man. Had a date last night. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, Noni wants to learn more. You had a date last night. How'd that go?
Yeah, it went great. It went great. Had some wine, ate some
Had some of your own wine, or you had someone else's wine?
My wine called Black Passion. Yeah.
Okay, so your date was at you your date was
Go ahead. Take time.
So your date was at your house to have wine. So you didn't take her out for wine.
If we go out, I'm taking my wine with me.
Did you go out?
Yeah, we went to a nice Italian restaurant. It was a Thai restaurant. We went there, came back here, had some wine. And sometimes when I have a date, old dates, old long time ago dates, just go walk in the park, sit down, pull out some glasses,
Okay. All right. So you're a cheap date.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, some people like the finer things in life. I like the cheaper things in life because I am paying for all this by myself. Most people after divorce don't start a business. I started this 3 months after my divorce. And so there's no investors, there's no loan. I am paying for everything. So I have a budget. I received another label too, frugal. Yeah, one girl called me frugal. I said, I'm not being frugal. I am restarting a new chapter in my life in addition to, starting a business of I'm frugal where we're not supposed to be together.
How many different types of wines do you have?
Well, see, Michael, I'll answer that question first. I've
His name is Ethan.
12 different wines. And what's so cool about making wine is that it matches my personality. A lot of people say I overthink things. When you're making wine ahead of time, I know how smooth I want it, the alcohol percentage, things like that. And I work toward it, right? And then I've been told I have a short attention span. I've made 12 different wines. And out of the 12, I've won a double gold, 2 golds, 4 silvers, and 2 bronze medals. American Wine Society competition and the Southeast Regional Winemaker competition. I'm going to enter another competition, which is the International Winemaking competition, pretty soon as well. So, yeah.
So Noni right there is asking a question. Ethan, do you want to read it out?
Oh, yes. I wanted to learn more about the wines in mango.
With mango. Oh, yeah. So my wines is not coming from the raw fruit, which takes about a year as far as fermentation, back sweetening, flavoring. I make my wine from a fruit wine juice base. The company name is Vintners, Vintners, and they have peach fruit juice bases. And the fermentation process is about 2 weeks, and overall, it's about 27 days.
What's the alcohol content?
I'm not trying to sound like a smart A, but it's what I want it to be. Now, there's a reading that has to be done, there's a hydrometer floats, and long story short, if I don't make any changes to the juice base, it will yield 10%. But once I go through the formula, I can make it 13.5, 13.2, but typically it's 13.5%. Not too sweet.
Right.
Not too
all
sweet.
Right, perfect. Because whenever I go to buy wine, I don't look at the brand. I look at the alcohol percentage, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that one's for me. So it has to be like 13 point something. And Kenneth Dunner, Junior, bro, I cry in my soup all the freaking time, especially when I'm not employed. Everyone asks, how are you so positive? Because you have to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be negative. But my kryptonite is going through my savings, living off of my savings, because I wasn't prepared to do that at this stage in my life. And so when things are tight, I don't cry all the time, but like, yeah, I had a mini little, like, oh my God, I'm so frustrated type of thing 2 weeks ago. And literally I was like, I sit around and I act like everything's okay, but nothing's okay. Nothing's okay. It's not good. And that's fine. I think you should share those things, because sometimes it's just not fucking okay. It's a rough moment, but like my cousin told me on Saturday, it's a moment. I'm almost 40 years old, and in that time, this this is just a moment.
Mm-hmm. I just
So go
asked
ahead.
myself, when I'm really down, I just asked myself, what would I be doing right now if I was already up from this? And I focus on doing that. And
That's
I
what
give
I'm
myself,
doing.
yeah, just do what you would do if you was already over it. But still, don't use success as a way to escape from that. Still return to that. Talk to a therapist, talk to your friends, but still move forward toward what you'd be doing if you was okay.
I think a lot of times, and Ethan, I want you to pay attention to this. A lot of times we place our value on our we place our value on our titles. We place our value on our salary, and we need to start placing value on our core, who we are.
Yeah, right.
And I was telling someone the other day, when you go out and you meet people, the first thing they say is, "What do you do for a living?"
Yeah.
And when you say nothing, it's like, and it's a society thing. That's something that I believe that we do to ourselves. So, Ethan, be more than, crisis 24. Understand that your value is in the care that you give, the big brother that you are, the stable boyfriend that I think that you are. I'm not sure if you still are or not, but he has a beautiful girlfriend that he's been with for 50 years, but hasn't proposed yet. So we should talk about that.
Finishing up school, so
Huh?
Okay.
I'm just letting her finish up school and everything.
Yeah.
She's almost done with her master's right now.
Okay.
Right on.
Power couple. All right.
Yeah, he's super smart. His dad is too. So yeah. So is that the plan though? Does she know?
I mean, we've talked about it, so yeah. I mean, she does have an idea. I mean,
yeah,
probably won't be like directly after, but she should be finishing up.
Talking to your mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, it won't be directly after. I'll give it some time and everything. But yeah, we're going to make moves for that, and then once we establish our lives with after school, and then with everything that I'm doing now, it'll be, be inevitable at that point.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm happy for you.
Me too.
And he's only 12 himself. So like,
yeah, come on now.
How long have you guys been dating?
10 years now.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah. So you met, she's your high school sweetheart.
Yeah. High school sweetheart.
Awesome.
Yeah. Did you move out yet?
Yeah. I did. And then I ended up back for a little bit just because of, everything with COVID and then the rent and all that. So, but yeah, now I'm back out in Boca.
So you're not with Howard?
No.
All right. Cool. That's his dad, not his. Anyway, back to you, Phillip.
We didn't even know. I guess, because the thing is too, you gotta not let people affect your personality. I'm kind of working on that because, like I said, I've been dating and stuff like that. And one girl, she had a bunch of labels. She said you can be pretty preachy at times. So I'm like, I got offended, and I'm like, okay. What I took from that is just start listening more. So that's what I've been working on now, just listening more. And the preachy part, I'm like, whatever. But I still took something positive from it. So that's why I'm like, okay, whatever. He called upon me to speak. Cool. I'm not going to be, oversharing and all that stuff. But what you need to know, Mr. Bill, what you got for me?
I want you to overshare. But here's the thing. So you keep talking about your dates and all the labels they put on you.
I am. That's true.
So there's a common theme here. So what did your therapist say?
Well, the one I was dating, she was a therapist too. She was a therapist. But my therapist pretty much told me, just get out of my head. Don't just constantly just reweigh or just constantly just think about analyzing myself. Just let's be present, focus on mindfulness. And so I've been taking care of my feet, right? Because I want to join a yoga class. My feet, because they were kind of rough, so rough I could climb a tree backwards, that kind of rough, right? And so I don't want to go to the yoga class and scare everybody out. So I've been using the stone and stuff. So I'm gonna start going to a yoga class. Maybe that's too much information.
Keep going.
But I want to go to yoga class just so I can focus on just being present and mindfulness instead of just always thinking about things. I'm not really talking about the wine, acting, and comedy. It's like as a person, because when you go through a life change like a divorce, I'm the type of person that takes a lot of responsibility for my actions, and so I always found myself trying to tally up everything I did. I think that probably contributed to it, but fact of the matter is, it just didn't work out. It was 14 years, good and bad. We both learned. We traveled from California, Georgia, Florida, back here. She's doing well. She's thriving. I'm thriving right now, and it is what it is. And so right now, I'm just trying to be at peace with that consistently, because sometimes I am not. But to help myself get back there, I want to be just more mindful of all the other beautiful things that's currently going on right now. And so that's why I took care of my feet, so I can just go to yoga class and just be grounded without skin.
Okay. So at this point, there are people in my ear saying, "Can you please show us your feet?"
Oh yeah, I ain't got no shame. Yeah, there you go. I got my pajamas on too. I work from home, so I got my pajamas on.
Yeah, I can't stand up right now either because I just got on a shirt. I have on shorts. I'm sorry, but you only see from your. Hey, there you go. So you were kind of caught off guard with the divorce, is that right?
It was a surprise. Well, we had thought about doing it after my son had graduated, which was going to be 15 years down the road. But I had won an award. I said, "Yeah, I won an Ambassadors Club award. Where you want to go? We go to Paris. You want to? They'll pay for half of it. You got to pay. We got to pay for the flights and stuff. They pay for the hotel room." And that's when she mentioned it then, and I was like, "It's a great moment I'm bringing up." And then that came. I was crushed. Of course, I cried and all that stuff, but. We had employee assist program with FedEx. We still do. Talking to therapists, talking to friends, people who really knew me to help me understand who I really am. There was a lot of blame and stuff like that, of course, but we still were civil throughout that process. It only took 5 months to finalize everything. I have my decree letter, my date last night. I say, "Here's my decree letter, just so you know it's official." I'm a free man, and so. Civil relationship, kids, they're 15 minutes away. I see them outside the parenting plan. I spend money outside of child support. And when I see that she's looking just really tired or stuff, I just take them on. And I feel like, everything is, I won't say the way it's supposed to be, but we're working through it, Yeah.
Sometimes it's better. There's less arguments. There's less tension.
Yes.
And your kids feel the love, and that's one of the things with Amanda and Brooke, my daughters. When Stacy and I separated, we still maintained a family dynamic. So going over and having dinner with her and the kids wasn't abnormal, you know, and us going on Christmas vacations wasn't abnormal. It was, you know, the norm. We would come together for family events and then go apart. What I did realize is that we can't live together.
Right.
You know? Because sometimes when you're co-parenting so well, you're like, let's try one more time, and then you're like, this is why it didn't work, because we're good if we have separate places to go to, you know. But when you're stuck in that house, you're just like, oh my god.
Well, you know, too, Bill, we only knew each other for 2.5 months before we got married. I met her in California. It was kind of a green card situation. I was 30, she in her 30s, and we felt like it was the right thing to do. We both found out we was going to the same church. It seemed like the right thing to do, right? But we made it work for 14 years, and we achieved a lot. We grew a lot, but also we grew apart. And like I told my daughter, you know, my son, they was asking, how much longer you guys can be living apart, you know, after divorce? I said, well, you remember how mommy and daddy were arguing and yelling and saying bad things? Well, you guys were scared, and we don't want you to go through that, right? So you see how right now mom and daddy is so much happier, and we love you guys yet and still, then and now. But we want what's best for you and what's best for me, and also for mommy too. So you're gonna have 2 homes now. You're gonna hang out with daddy, you're gonna hang out with mommy. You're gonna go on vacation with mommy, you're going on vacation with daddy. And I don't live that far away, and I'm still gonna be there for you for sporting events, and it's gonna be great. Just trust.
That's the part that's important. That's the part that's important. So people are still talking about your feet. They're asking about Ethan's now.
You don't want to see mine.
So I have no shame. I have no shame.
You don't.
I'm excited to be me. I'm excited.
Those little Flintstone feet were just like, oh my god, like all up in the camera.
And guess what? I thought I was 5'5". I thought I was 5'5.5" for the past.
You're 5'1", right?
No, I thought I was 5'5.5". I went to the doctor. She said, stand against the wall and check your height. I said, I'm 5'5.5". You good? She said, I still got to do it. She's like, sir, you're not 5'5.5". You're actually 5'4.5". I'm like, oh my god. So I have no shame about anything, you know. So
yeah,
I'm me. So
I think that's exactly how tall Kevin Hart is too.
He's a little shorter than that. No, he's a little shorter. Yeah, he's a little shorter. I think he's around like 5'3", 5'2", something like that.
You know, why is it, and Ethan, I want you to answer this question. Why is it that people always need to find someone else and say, well, have you ever seen someone say, I know I'm big, but I'm not as big as her? And you say to yourself, yeah, you are. Or I know I'm short, but you know, I'm 5'4.5".
Hey, you brought him up. You brought him up. Go to Google.
I know I'm ugly, but I'm not as ugly as Ethan. You know?
Oh, you wild, man. We all are beautiful. We all are beautiful. We all are beautiful. We all are amazing. Yes.
Oh, what type of crap is that? Ain't everybody?
When I meet someone, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm meeting. I don't say it to myself, but I feel like everyone is amazing. Everyone is beautiful. And if I cross somebody, they had a bad attitude, I'm like, okay, maybe they're constipated, or maybe they just going through a breakup. Something's going on. It's not me. You know, I'm bringing positive energy. And that's just how I look at it. You know.
Look, I have seen friends come over and their newborn baby, and I'm like, what is that?
What?
Not every baby is cute.
Okay. What is that? Okay, it's a baby.
I mean, I was a hideous baby. I'm not even.
You're a hideous adult. Come on.
Yeah, it didn't get any better for me, but
I don't remember.
So talk to us about your stand-up. I want to hear more about that.
Did you know it was
any material that you've written?
Well, let me put it like this too. I was doing stand-up while I was going through the divorce. Can you believe that?
Right.
That was kind of tough, man. But yeah, that was tough. I was trying to convince myself that I was all right. But it was actually tougher to do it after the divorce, if that makes sense.
Why?
Because I felt like, okay, this is really real now. I am now single. The divorce is final. Because during the divorce, I'm going through the process, talk to the lawyers, find a new place to stay. I'm doing things. I'm not really focusing on the actual idea of there's a divorce taking place right now. But after everything had settled, I'm like, okay, this is the new normal. So it was tough. So it took about a few months for me to get back into it. But I tell you one little joke I said on stage too. I said, I have this new wine. It's called Black Passion. And I told them, the audience, I said, hey, like Ethan, I don't want to offend you, man. Black Passion, but hey, black wines matter too. Okay, man. But to make it up to you, I'm going to come out with a new one. It's going to be called White Passion.
There you go.
In honor of Ethan.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same ingredients. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little, what do you call that? A little privilege on it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely Ethan.
Yeah. So because I promote my wine during my comedy too.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I've heard. I've been doing a lot of the comedy shows out here. The scene in Florida is getting a lot bigger. There used to not be a lot out here, but for some reason it's been growing over here. I've been doing a lot of the comedy shows over here. I've heard multiple times where people have been like referencing like starting comedy. It's like almost like a form of therapy, and they like, really enjoy it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Look at you, Ethan, being kind of like contributing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is. It's therapy. It brings you to what's really going on up there. It's like you bring it to the surface and you're sharing.
Yeah.
Instead of letting it circle around the track. Thank you guys for the comments out there too, Philippe. I see your comments. Appreciate that. You said I made a good point. Not sure which one it was, but I see your comments. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, people are actually enjoying it because it's. This is exactly what I told you. My last few shows have been very heavy, and I wanted something light today, and I think it's flowing perfect. I have a question for you. I have a question for Ethan. Both of you guys.
Give me a break.
Give you a break. No, because I want you to do some of your recent material. This is kind of deep a little bit. So I've been getting into arguments with my friend Javier, and Javier is in America under TPS. But he's a MAGA supporter, and he's from Venezuela. And he's still a MAGA supporter. And that's very hard for me to grasp because this administration is literally saying, I want to deport everyone from Venezuela to El Salvador. And there's a part of me that believes, and I know for a fact Ethan believes this too, that you should be standing up for everyone, or no one will stand up for you. So I'm not Venezuelan, but I think what's happening to the Venezuelan people that are here on TPS is alarming. So what form of self-hate is that? Or what form of it doesn't apply to me, so it's not important? Ethan?
Yeah, that's a hard one. But yeah, I mean, I've been running into the same thing. It's hard to, really grasp what's happening, with everything. But like my girlfriend's from Peru. Her whole family's from Peru. She wasn't even born here.
Talk into your mic.
Sorry. Yeah, I was trying to keep it out of the camera.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, so it's a hard issue. I mean, I don't think that having those prisons in another country where they can no regulations is a very good idea. It is a problem with the violence and trafficking and all these things, but I think there's other ways to address it. So it's a very complicated issue, though.
Yeah, but how do you vote for someone that is willing to take away your protective status?
Yeah.
And his response to me was, well, I got approved for another 5 years. So you don't care about your cousin or your grandchild or there's, because it's not affecting you personally.
It's a mentality and, America for sure. That we just kind of worry about ourselves. Um, you just got to prioritize yourself first. At the end of the day, but it's people love to help each other, and we're willing to, but I feel like everyone's struggling right now, so it's hard to
Yeah.
even reach out and be like, yeah, I'll help you, because everyone's hurting with
Yeah.
how everything is right now.
Ethan, do you mind telling us about yourself, your background? You just said your girlfriend was from Peru. You're Jewish?
Yeah, I was raised Jewish. I went to Hebrew school. I didn't fully pursue that when I got older, after like
Right.
my grandparents passed away, like that. It was more of a tradition thing for everyone. But once they passed away, it kind of died down a little bit. But I have some friends that are Israeli. I'll still
Yeah.
Shabbat with them sometimes.
Oh, I had the best Shabbat dinner with my friend Alana Maskin.
Yeah.
Her mom is a chef, and it was a spread, man. And then your family's very diverse, correct?
Yeah, and then my mom was actually adopted into a Jewish family. We actually recently did meet with her, like her
Biological?
biological parents, or the mother had already passed away, but she did meet her biological father. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
How did
so
that go?
yeah, we had Thanksgiving with them. It was extremely
Nice.
very interesting. It was enjoyable. It was great to meet all of them. He lives up in Jacksonville, Florida, surprisingly. So they're actually pretty close to us when we figured out who they were, and they actually reached out to my mom. But yeah, her heritage goes back from Menorca, Spain. And she's actually, um, like it was funny. Like she actually had like a painting like in her house. And we were looking at it after we figured that out, and I was just like, "This looks like Menorca, like you were showing me." I was like, "Did you buy this?" Like, and she's like, "Yeah, I bought this years ago." Before I knew that, we flip it over, it's literally a painting of Menorca, Spain. Like
Wow.
it is the exact city that she was from. So it's just it's pretty interesting how those things work. And then I also do have a little brother who's now adopted, or was adopted. Um, and they're just continuing that, and I'll probably end up doing the same thing when I get older and I start having kids. So
No, 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 no. You. I don't think that you're allowed to reproduce.
yeah, it's probably not for the best, but
So your brother is
Yeah.
I say black. People say African American, but we're not always from Africa. So I just say, so his mom's from Spain. He's Jewish. His girlfriend's from Peru. His brother is black. And then you found an older brother. Is that correct?
yes. So yeah, that was wild. He's a really cool guy. Me and him are like very similar. It's actually kind of crazy. We'll play video games sometimes here and there. So he does everything that I do with the computer. We play games. We uh, you know do like little competitions, and then we'll do he's all into the coding um aspect of everything, which I'm recently starting to get into. I'm learning more about that and just doing it myself, because with AI, I mean, you could just use those things to just have it teach you everything nowadays. So
Yeah.
you could just go through and just keep asking it questions, and then just progress.
So what do you think is going to happen with jobs with AI? Everyone thinks that immigrants are taking the jobs. That's not really what's going to happen.
Oh, I
It's
mean,
going to,
it's going to take over pretty much every
yeah,
industry eventually. I mean, you guys were talking about on the last show that I was watching, universal basic income, and I think that like AI plays like a big role in that, where it's that's eventually going to be needed, because the only things that we're going to have is like making wine, entertainment,
Yeah.
making things like that. Like that's all that's really going to be left for people to do. So it's either going to be us just entertaining each other, and AI is going to be doing all the heavy lifting. Like that's pretty much what it's going to end up being.
you guys take that any way you want, entertaining each other. But
This guy.
you see, I should be the comedian.
You are.
So when I first met Ethan, he was dating this girl named Cindy. And
I don't remember that.
Oh, you don't remember her?
Oh. I didn't. I mean, okay.
Yeah. So basically, he was her little boy toy.
When did that happen?
That's what you told me. That's how you said you kept getting your raises. Anyway, back to you.
Oh.
That's trouble. Oh boy.
I cracked myself up, but no one else thinks it's funny. So Phil,
Yo.
come on, give us give us a set.
I'll give you a little short, quick set I recently did. I see Felipe's asking, do I have my comment on YouTube? No, not right now. I got some stuff about my wine on YouTube, but I recently did a little bit at Laughing Skull. I was talking about, like, I like to talk about what's currently going on. Like right now, I am dating and I'm short. You know what I'm saying? And women, it's pretty brutal out there because women are very, very, I don't know. I don't want to make them sound bad, but they have no filter, right? One girl asked me, she was like, what is it like dating while being short? I was like, I don't know. I mean, you accepted a date, you tell me. And I don't have the short man's complex, but if I did, I would have told her something like, well, at least I'm not a 6 out of 10, in which she was, And then people always ask me, would I date someone taller than me? I did. It didn't work out.
You'd have to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I may be short. But I'm not stupid. And I have to. Yeah, I got you. I have to. Get a little heckler. That's fine.
my girl's an absolute gym nut, and she's probably stronger than me. So
hey, it doesn't matter, really, right? Yeah. Come on now. I'm very secure in my manhood, inside out and afar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I dated this one girl. She's Costa Rican Russian. She was 5'7", of course. Supposedly I'm 5'4.5". And she got mad at me. I don't know why. It was, she's Costa Rican Russian. She got like this little natural eye shadow on her eyes. I said, "You're so cute. You remind me of a baby raccoon." And she just stopped smiling for some reason. She said, "Oh, really? I was your height when I was 12. I was like, "Wow." I said, "Listen, I'm average height for a man." She said, "No, you're average height for a Mexican woman." Yeah. So that didn't work out, But just wrapping this up real quick. There's positives being short.
Why are we wrapping it up? You have 30 more minutes before your kids.
No, I'll do that because my kid's about to come over pretty soon. I got to go to the gym. I ate a lot
30
of
minutes. 30 minutes. You said.
A lot. But no, there are positives to being short. Ethan, I'm going to throw you on the bus, or anyone else out there that's white, but white people don't fear me. White people don't fear me. They don't, because I'm short. Why do you think I did so well in sales, Bill? Door to door. I mean, they don't consider me a threat. I mean, for instance, Ethan, if you and your girlfriend, you guys at the gas station, and you see me walking back toward my car, are you going to really lock your doors when you see me walking by?
Yeah,
Come on. Are you gonna lock? I'm 5'5.5". Are you really gonna lock your doors? No, you're not. No. And your girl's probably like, "Look, Ethan, look, it's a bite-sized brother. Look at him. Get your phone and take a selfie. Can I take a selfie with you? Yeah, you can take a selfie, but you gotta buy a bottle of my Louis wine. You know what I'm saying? So I reached a little bit about that. Yeah, you guys got me on the spot with this stuff right now, but it's not really like a set. It's just my life. It's what I'm living, and I just share it. And people find it funny, fine, and go. I'm impressed. So
how?
But yeah, what's up?
I was just gonna ask how old your kids are.
I have my son. He is 4. And my daughter, she's 10, and they are very, very arrogant. Like their observation of things is like I don't understand it. Like my daughter, my son got in a car one day. She said, "Ooh, no, it smells like daycare." What is that?
What does that mean?
I know, but it was like he just left daycare, and I thought about what it would smell like. It's just her observation of it. She was probably right, but she's very brutally honest. And my son, I was talking to my daughter about getting back into soccer. They didn't win any game everyone's new to soccer, right? And my son was like, Daddy, why do we have to go to Gabby's games? They never score any points. And he's 4 to bring that up. And the way he looks at you, he's like, why we got to go to her games? They never win it. They never score any points. So
like it's a waste.
Pretty much. It's a waste of time. And he's just 4 years old.
Why are you forcing us to do this?
Yeah. And so, I can't be sad about, I guess I do get sad that they live there. I live here. I've always saw myself growing up with them. And I never saw myself paying child support. But when I'm with them, I'm with them. And the things that they share and watching them grow, it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's surprising. I'm even more surprised, even more proud of them now, opposed to when I was living with them, to see how they're still prospering, how they're still growing. I won't say vertically growing, but
How tall is your ex-wife?
I think she took half the 401k, the car. I think she took an inch off my height. I think she took an inch off my height because she looks a little taller now. She looks a little taller, man. Yeah.
She took half your 401k and an inch off your height.
And my height, because she's taller. I said, I think she's like 5'5" right now, But
to come up. You don't have to share the remote. You can watch what you want on television. I enjoy being with me and my 2 dogs. Like that's great. I do need to clear something up, Kenneth. I wasn't spilling any of Ethan's tea. He really wasn't dating anyone named Cindy. That was an inside joke for me and him. He's so freaking slow that he didn't even get it at first. So
yes, it's been a while. It's been years, but yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine that walking towards you with no clothes on?
Oh God.
See, I did an instant visual for you, and you're like, oh God.
Yeah, Bill.
What?
Let me know. I haven't even announced the name of my wine business and what I'm specialized in and all that. I saw some chats come through, but if it's okay,
how do they buy your wine? It's okay for you to do whatever you want. You're the one trying to leave early.
Man, I just got off work a few minutes ago, so my mind is kind of scattered. But anyway, the name of the business is Luvie Wines, Luvie Wines. Luvie Thomas was my great grandmother. She used to make wine too. So you may be like, who is that white lady on the label? That's my great grandmother, Luvie Thomas. She's part Cherokee, Choctaw, one of those. I need to look up my Ancestry 23. I need to do that. But I named after her, and believe it or not, she used to make elderberry wine as well. And that's the wine I won a double gold award for when I entered the American Wine Society competition. And like the young people say, I have my receipts. I have all my medals over there. I can grab and bring the shirt to you right now.
Go. Let's see them because we don't believe you.
All right.
See, even when he stood up, he's the same size standing as he was sitting down. How's your brother doing?
Oh, he's great.
Your little brother.
Yeah, he's great. He's doing really well.
Good.
Now.
How's your dad?
He's good.
Good. Tell him I said hi.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So before I show these awards, I'm going to start doing inspirational speaking at schools and stuff. The purpose of these awards is not to show off. It's not to live an extravagant lifestyle. It's to talk to my younger self, a kid that got bullied, single parent home, anger management, didn't have a dad there.
You need anger management?
Anger management as a result of all that stuff. My goal is to show anyone going through that, you can still do great things. Short attention span, going to award banquets, academic, not getting anything, going to athletic banquets, not getting anything, riding the bench, baseball teammates. Like my nickname was Hercules. I like to work out. I had big chest back then too. And they were like, when is coach going to put you in the game? Right? There you go. Yeah. So they was like, when is coach going to put you in the game? I said, you know what? Actually, pretty soon, because you guys will lose about 20 points. Coach, you ready for me to go in? All right. So I still made lighter situations. So I like to say, like I said before, FedEx, I won the second highest awards you can get, Ambassadors Club. I got that in 2023. All right. And 2020, I won the highest award you can get, which is President's Club. As high as you can get. Out of 247 people, only like 4 of these given out. This year, I'm going to be getting President's Club award again. And I got another commercial coming out another month, Cortland Apartment. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys watched a show called Found. I'm in season 2, episode 15, toward the end. Okay. When it comes to wine, the Southeast Regional Wine Competition, I won a gold medal, right? And I won, that was for my, what wine was that? That's for my pomegranate wine. And I won another gold medal in that competition, my apple cherry wine. All right. And I won a silver and a bronze too. And so American Wine Society, I won the silver medal for my peach maker, or for my pear wine. I call it Pearlicious. ChatGPT, thank you. I won another silver medal for my raspberry wine. Okay. And another silver for, what was that? I don't know. It was another one. I made so many. Another silver medal. And my
made so many.
Won double gold award. So, like I say, this is just it. What's weird is I wasn't really winning. I wasn't really excelling early in life, but when I became an adult, it's just so that's one thing that it stunts me. I didn't get on honor roll until my last year in high school after you've already taken all the major classes. And then all of a sudden, as an adult, I'm winning. But had I given up back then, you wouldn't see all this stuff right now.
Absolutely. That is exactly what I was talking about yesterday. People need to share their highs and their lows. Yeah. And because everyone sees all these awards, but you also shared that you were shook, a few, like last year, and it wasn't a high. You took an inch off your height, half your flow.
Look at this guy. Hey, up there.
Hey, did you turn your thing off? Kenneth just said, "I'm a horrible, terrible friend."
You said I was blushing too. It's the Irish.
Oh, man.
I don't know why I'm a terrible friend.
No, you're good, man. You're very honest. I like that.
Hey, it's been such a structured. The last few shows have been so structured that I personally needed this.
Me too.
This energy of collaboration, of stupidity, to just be kind of off guard for a second, because you go through life guarded, especially when you have specific roles in life. And I'm so honored that Ethan actually showed up, because we only knew each other for like 1 year, and he worked with me. And so the fact that I can call him up and say, "Hey, will you come on?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And yesterday he was like, "Oh, I feel really bad because I think I'm going to be late." And today he took off work early to show up for this. I mean, I love you, Ethan.
That's awesome.
I love you, Phillip.
Yeah.
See, Kenneth, I'm a great friend, Kenneth. Great friend.
I always love meeting. Look, Bill, while I was in sales, we had to visit about 5 or 6 customers a day, but I always found some way to come to Pembroke. After using Pembroke Pines, right? Yeah. I always found some way to come by your location, because the day were high and low. Some customers would take you up, some take you down. But when I came by your location, it was always just that right there, And I didn't think about it then, but I think about it now, is that you shot me straight when I was doing well or not doing well, when I was late with something or not late with something. But you always kind of remind me of the great qualities that I possessed and what I always brought to the table consistently too. So you made me better, and I appreciate that, because some people just tell you all the negatives, what you need to work on. They don't tell you what you're doing better or what you do well. So I really appreciate it. And that's why I respond to you. That's because your greatest asset is like your health and your time. And if I give you time, I find you valuable. I find that you deserve it. And so that's why I respond to your texts and, came to see you and stuff like that.
Yeah. I appreciate that, because I really want everyone around me to succeed and to elevate. I I said last week that I'm not stingy. I want the people around me to grow. If
Yeah.
you ever recognized it, you know, I didn't always have to be the one making the decisions in the meetings. I would have my staff in there with me sometimes, and they would talk. And when we went on trips and things like that, it was like the 20-year-old guy that I'm like, okay, you can help run the show, and I was building him up to be the leader.
Yeah.
I think we went with Fernando and Oren. Oren's a big guy. Ooh. But we always, everyone around me has a voice. And
Yes. Yeah, because of the natural eye shadow. They like it was cute. Yeah. but she still gets upset, But anyway, just a bad comment. My date. I told my date about it the other night. She said, "Listen, if you're gonna give a woman a compliment, don't refer to her as an animal." I was like, "I'm glad you told me that."
So, are you gonna have a second date with this one woman from last night?
Surprisingly, that was the second one because I kind of pissed her off a little bit. She
What
said,
is wrong with you?
"Oh, well, I don't think this was that bad," but she kind of like got pissed off me for about 2 weeks. But it was so simple. I'll share with you. I don't care if she watch right now. I already apologized to you. But yeah, we were sitting down, we were talking, kiss here and there. And she said something about oh, you gotta marry me now, you kiss me. I said, well, you gotta propose to me. That's not bad. That's not, I didn't call her animal. I said, well, you gotta propose to me. Right? That's
Right?
not bad. What?
No, it's not bad at all.
Say it's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad.
There we go. I'm gonna send her that clip. I'm gonna take that out as a segment. Yeah, and so yeah. So and then I almost messed up again last night. She said I gave her a kiss and she said, "Oh, you're gonna fall in love with me." I said, "Maybe." Yeah, that's not bad, right? She kind of looked at me like, "Oh my God, here we go again." I'm like, I think the less is more thing. That's like one thing I'm focusing on in 2025. Less is more, because I don't really think about it so much. I'm just so real. And whoever I date on a serious note, they have to have the capacity to understand that I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just being real. I'm in a moment with you, and you can understand my true intentions that we're not a match. And
so, question for you: when you kissed her, does she have to pick you up?
We same height. So if she was wearing heels, of course I get my tiptoes, but that's fine. Yeah. I feel like when we go out in public, they're like, "Wow, she was short a guy." I'm like, "That's right." So I walk my chest out when I'm in public with someone taller than me. I'm like, "Yeah, that's right." Doing something right.
It's all in the mind too, because it's all in how you believe that you are. I truly believe that you're. No, you look taller if you're confident.
Okay.
You look better if you're confident. I think people can feel your inside energy, and it affects how you appear outside. And to be honest, you're a pretty big dude. I mean, you're compact, but you're big.
Yeah, I'm all right.
I'm all right.
I'm serious though. I don't think about that. I don't feel it. The only reason I really started working out because I wanted to become a personal trainer, which I did. I just wanted to look the part. I wanted to take the knowledge that I gained from Mississippi State as majors in kinesiology. I applied that.
What is kinesiology? You
study of movement.
I have a third grade education. So what is
study of movement? Study of movement. And then I did an internship at the Medical University of South Carolina, which I shadowed fitness instructors. I got that knowledge. I applied that. And then, I accumulated 2-person training certification, AFFA and NCSF, and I applied those concepts. So just application of information, that's all I did. And that's why I can just transition however I want, So, yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Ethan, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Yeah. Come on, Ethan. I'm sorry. I've
been working hard.
Working hard.
All right, so we're waiting for your stand-up. Give us.
Come on,
a couple of hard hitters.
Yeah.
I know you got it in you. Come on.
Me? Oh, I don't want to. Me, I'm not that funny.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
all
you
are.
are.
Not off the top of my head like that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to give me something to make a joke on.
Okay. Um, give you something to make a joke on.
No,
Observation or situational. Give us a situational joke or an observational one, or it could be on Bill. It could be on his glasses right now. Whatever you feel
I
like.
mean,
What's wrong with my glasses?
those are the
What's your
legendary glasses. He's had those since I've known him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Look up, Bill. I'm messing with you, man. Yeah, but no, I think we all are funny. The secret is these friends you haven't seen your friends in like a long time, and you're having a barbecue. You turn the aisle down low, and you walk out there. Hey, guess what happened last year? And you just that energy. That's what you put behind what you have to say, and that's like what I do.
Yeah. I remember one time. This really pissed me off too.
Mm-hmm.
So Ethan has a sister, right? And Ethan and I were, because I truly believe that no matter who you're working with, no matter what your position is, I encouraged him to push back on things. Don't just because I say to do something, do it. And he was pushing back on something pretty strong. And his sister said, I hate seeing mom and dad fight. And I was like, what does that mean? Who's mom and who's dad? And I was just like, so because we were arguing about something.
Mm-hmm.
That still bugged me, by the way, Ethan.
I don't remember what it. Oh, okay.
I don't remember what we were arguing about. We're obviously we were obviously in a disagreement on a business solution, but the way that I manage is that I'm not always right. I just have a different position, and if I'm not listening to Ethan, who's on the ground doing the stuff every day, then I'm just making decisions willy-nilly because I think I'm the boss, and that's not how things should work. So he was, and I appreciate it because no one, even though I want them to sometimes, no one fears me. They're always just like, "You're wrong, Bill. You're wrong," and I'm like, "But I'm the boss." Nope, but you're wrong.
Yeah, you said no one what now? You said no one what now?
No one fears me. I've been CEO.
I think I said that, right? Why did I say no one fears me? What's the reason why I said that?
Because you're a bite-sized piece of
brother.
chocolate. What'd you say? Okay,
So
bite-sized
they
brother.
don't fear you. What does that mean? Oh, I ain't gonna say it.
No, but I've been in what most people would consider a position. Shut up. Position. I'm at least an inch. I'm at least an inch taller than you. All right, so I'm.
You say
I'm
they don't fear you, but they don't fear you though. Hey, I'm done.
No, but it's because I encourage conflict. I mean, not conflict. I encourage openness, and so it doesn't matter that I'm a vice president or a CEO or a COO. I'm leaning on the team to make decisions, and I focus on the brightest bulb in the room, which in this case, it unfortunately, it was Ethan.
Very unfortunate.
Shows you the talent pool we had. But I focus on the brightest bulb and I say, tell me the truth. Don't lie, don't sugarcoat it, just tell me the truth. And Ethan, please assert yourself today. Okay, go ahead, Ethan.
I mean,
you want to tell him what a horrible boss I was?
No, I mean, I thought it was healthy. I mean, I think that disagreements are good, just like with everything, you gotta, as long as you're having a discussion about it, you know what I mean? Like,
and you're good.
That's what you want to be. You don't want to be angry at each other over it. Just want to have a discussion, go back and forth about it, and just come up with a solution,
So I will share this with Kenneth because Kenneth would love to know this. Ethan about 15 to 16 bathroom breaks a day. And his motto is he's not going to use the bathroom on his own time. He's going to use it on company time. And he stays in there for about 20 minutes, 15 times a day. No one knows really what happens.
Slightly.
Am I?
Slightly.
I have the text basically that said it. What did I say to you when you said you were running late?
Oh, you're like you in the bathroom.
15 minutes to the day.
I was out of work.
You were what?
I wasn't at work, so
you weren't in the bathroom. No.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Ethan, do you want to do the thought of the day with me later?
Sure.
You're like, that didn't sound really positive.
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I've seen what you do a couple of times on those. Just not sure exactly what.
You can do the thought of the day. What's your thought of the day? We're going to re-record it because it has to be like a 10-second clip.
Yeah.
Right.
What have you learned in life? How old are you now?
28.
Oh, okay. So you're only 12 years younger than me. So
what year were you born?
Huh?
What year were you born?
1988.
Okay.
Why?
Why? Who asked that? Come on, why?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought you were a little older than 40 is all.
Did you?
Oh. It's the bald head. Yeah.
All right. So I know that you want to wind down.
Yeah.
I know that you want to wind down, Mr. Thomas. This has been an hour and 20 minutes. It flows pretty good. Like, it doesn't really feel like that. Ethan, I will let you off the hook for the thought of the day. Kenneth, Ethan is spelled with an I, not an E. And he is in crisis. So we should all be praying for him on a regular basis. Are you able to talk about Crisis 24?
Yeah, I just
from a high level.
I just can't go into specifics on like who it is all.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, we just do like right now we're doing most of the Fortune 500 companies. It's very high level. Right now I'm specifically the special care for the military contractors. So we're doing most of those. So I've been meeting a lot of pretty influential like porn people. It's been pretty interesting.
Really influential porn people.
No, influential, important people.
I thought you said
okay.
Yeah.
Right? Right? Who are
no.
Stormy Daniels? Like, who's an influential porn person?
That's a thought of the
No,
day.
but yeah, like, you see the crazy stuff going on in the news. We're probably, providing security for those people.
So there's several forms of security. There's cybersecurity, and then there's body security.
Do all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask you about it because I don't want to compromise your position. What are your thoughts right now, Phillip, on our military and using apps like Signal to talk about war plans? The economy, like what is FedEx? Well, not what is FedEx saying, because I don't put you in a compromising position either. But where do you think we are?
As far as apps discussing military plans?
Because you obviously don't watch the news.
In general, I
Probably
think it's kind of risky. I think it's. I will start watching that, but in general, I think it's kind of risky.
It's very risky. It's very risky. They included a reporter in a Signal chat. That's like that's like announcing a war plan on WhatsApp. It's an app that you can download from the Apple Store. Is what Signal is. I feel like we are
it's too
becoming Yeah, I think we're becoming, instead of becoming the leader on the global stage, I think we're becoming an isolated nation. And I think that people are abandoning us, all of our allies, because of us pushing people away, thinking that we're a bully. So I'm actually, hold on for a second. I'll be triple 22, 1 year old, June 2nd. Do the math. You're 66, 67. Okay. So like the economy, do you feel like, is FedEx hiring right now? I need a job. Do you feel like it's going up? Do you think it's going down? Do you think it's gonna get worse?
Fortunately, there were some layoffs about 3 years ago. That was pretty shocking in the sales area. That hadn't happened in my 14. Well, it hadn't happened in my 11 years of FedEx. It was kind of shocking, but things have leveled out now. So I just hope it stays the same. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but
Okay.
knock on wood.
Well, you're also the top salesperson, so I mean,
that
what?
well, there was some folks that been with FedEx for like a lot of years, but just the way things work. But FedEx graciously, they took care of them, severance packs and everything. I've been in communication with them. They're fine. A lot of them was very close retirement age anyway, so it was a
that's
good
normally
thing.
how they do it. Yeah. Ethan, can you please read that out loud?
Oh no.
Here we go. It's a typo. It's supposed to be, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? No.
Yeah.
I didn't that one. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta address something real quick. I think Kenneth said you have a nice pair of teeth. There wasn't always that way, Kenneth. My great grandmother.
Pair of teeth. Who said that?
He said pair. He said you have a nice pair, Phillip. I wanted to address that because people give me a compliment, but before I say thanks, I know it's a bad idea. I like to let people know that I wasn't always this way. But long story short, my grandmother saw my teeth one day. She's like, "Oh, wee Phillip, Frank, look at his teeth. Oh, wee Phillip, your teeth so yellow and ugly. Frank, I know girl gonna want to let him put his mouth on her with teeth looking like that. And when you get older, make sure you don't have a beard around your mouth. All that hair around your mouth, pink in the middle, looks nasty." My grandfather like, "Little, leave the boy alone. Stop talking like that." And so then my grandmother, she's like, "You need to start using Plus White." So I started using like Plus White toothpaste, brush my teeth like 3 times a day, and things like that. And the dentists, they always give you a hard time by not using floss pick versus flossing. So I started, flossing and stuff. And then things just kind of went from there. And so that's how I got my teeth like the way they are. But as far as the size, all even, that was a natural thing. But thanks to my grandmother and thanks to Plus White, they don't make it anymore. That's how I got my teeth in better shape. So it's hard for me to accept a compliment because I think about the pain that got me where I'm at. And people say, "You're in great shape." But I'm in shape because of the pain that I endured through different things, the bullying, the name calling, the rejection. Because growing up, it was hard for me to just date girls, get a girlfriend. I didn't get a girlfriend until like after high school. I would write a nice letter, Rosa Red, you like me and all that stuff. And I would give her the letter and I would run away before she opened it up. Wait, Phil, wait. No, nobody want to date your little short ass. No. What's going to do first? It was just humiliation. And so, and later I just took all that pain and rejection. I just take it to the gym. I just lift something. I just push. When it starts to burn, you want to stop. I push for 10 more because it helps me kind of like get that out of my system, all the pain that I've been enduring, or not even real aware of all the pain, specific pain, but just a form of release. And so that's how I, accumulate different things like awards and accolades is just from the pain I've endured. So like I said, it's hard for me to accept the praise and stuff because I like to resort to the pain that got me here. So that's what I think deserve, credit, the guy who got me where I'm at right now that didn't crumble. So I'm done preaching because the therapist, she said I could be a bit preachy sometimes too. So I'm done.
So I don't remember anyone telling you had pretty teeth.
Well, Kenneth said a lot of people say I'm nice. They say I floss then brush. They say it's better to floss first than brush because if you brush first, it breaks up the food. Versus when you floss, you pull out. Yeah, anyway, I'm done. Yeah, you're right, Kenneth. I've heard the same thing. Bill, yeah, Kenneth gave me a compliment. Okay,
I didn't say that.
It was way earlier. It was early. I want to let him know I didn't overlook that. I saw. He said, "You have a
It
nice
obviously touched your heart because I don't remember that at all.
I don't want to
do
ignore
know,
his comment. Yeah.
I do know that Jeremy said, "I believe you're right, William Rochelle," which
Oh, here we go with that.
which Ethan refused to read out loud.
On that, we still on that. All right.
Yeah, we're still on that because I like being told I'm right. Which
You're right,
my
Bill.
buddy
You're right,
over
Bill.
here, you say it, he won't.
I'll see him.
That little skinny guy over there won't.
Maybe he knows some things. Sometimes you were not right. I don't know. Yeah.
No, he told me.
Yeah, I would just tell him, but he's right about a lot of things.
Okay. See there you go, Bill. There you go.
Thank you. See,
not always.
Look at that little gun. There we go. There we go. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. So my weight loss is compliments of Manjaro.
Okay.
One shot a week.
What's that?
Congrats.
Congrats.
You say you lost weight, so I'm just giving you congrats.
I said I'm taking supplements. I'm using Manjaro. I'm cheating.
What is Manjaro though?
Yeah, what is that?
So I have diabetes.
Okay.
And it's really a medicine to help you control your A1C and your sugar levels. But one of the side effects, and a lot of people in Hollywood use it for weight loss. So
it's similar to Ozempic.
Ozempic, yeah, but it's actually a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
So I was on Ozempic, and then they switched me to Manjaro, and it's like it just started shedding off. It's like crazy. Okay. And I feel good because I go in places and people are like, "Oh my God, looks like you lost weight," and I'm like, "Yeah, I have."
I've been gaining weight because I was doing the overnight shift at for a little while with Crisis when I first started, and that was brutal. It was just
why?
Just I would get out at 7 a.m. You can't just go get food at that time. Nothing's open. You can't go get.
So then, how did you gain weight?
Because then you just start eating junk. That's only the things available. So then you're working at 3 a.m. You got to end up getting something from Taco Bell or like there's nothing else open or Wawa. It was
Taco Bell. So yeah, you were really in the toilet.
Yeah, it was bad.
literally.
So,
yeah.
And then I ended up having to like cook meals and bring them. It just takes more of your time away.
You would cook?
Yeah. I mean, decent at it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he has a Peruvian girlfriend.
Yeah, sure. She would make
way
me meals
better than he does.
But she's she's full-time dedicated to school, so she's very strict. So
that's a good man, ladies.
Sometimes.
I say sometimes. Yeah.
Where's she at now? Bring her in. Let's meet her.
She's actually with some of her classmates right now. They're just having a couple.
So she's with her boyfriend.
Look at this guy, man. It's time to go. It's time to go. This guy. Wow. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think it's time to wrap it up, guys.
Yeah.
I'm taking you off of the thought of the day, Ethan. But I really enjoyed having you here. And anytime I'm on, just jump on. You're great. He asked me 11 times, do I have to turn my camera on? Like 11 times. And 11 times I said yes.
Because I knew my closet looked a little crazy. So I was like, man, like it's right behind me. Like
let's move your head. Let's see your closet.
No, I mean, it's not that bad.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, you can't really see anything. It looks like you have some type of like murder person like.
No, it's just some like some things from when I was a kid. I got like actually that's a Colts helmet up there from when they won the Super Bowl, signed by all the players. So that's
talk cool. About privilege, guys. Privilege.
No, that was actually because we were friends with Rondé Gadsden. Used to play for he's a wide receiver for the Dolphins. He actually gave that to us.
Nice. Jeremy Burdick is so damn intelligent because he said William Rochelle is right. That's what makes him so damn intelligent, Kenneth. That's what we all believe. All right. So
Yeah.
at this point, I believe that Philip would like to sign off. Philip,
Yep,
where can
I gotta
people
go.
where can people buy your wine again?
You can go to luviewines.com. That's Luvie, like Lovey, Luvie.com. Luviewines.com, actually. And you can just email me according to the email address or call me, and we'll just ship it to you once you give us your contact information. We don't have a kiosk from beginning to end as far as point of sale, but that's in the works right now. But just reach out.
Good. What are the regulations about shipping alcohol across state lines and stuff like that?
We've shipped alcohol to California, to Mississippi, to Alabama, to Florida.
Still, it's not regulated.
Supposedly, but I've been shipping it out. They haven't come to get me yet, so obviously we're doing something. Yeah.
And then, Ethan, if you could just read off your credit card number, and then
There
there's a
you go.
CVV on the back of that,
and the dates and the expiration.
I'll just hold it up to the camera.
Yeah, and as well as the billing zip code. Go ahead. All right, you guys. Does anyone have any other questions out there for us? Because we are about to sign off.
Yeah, I gotta go to the gym. Let's go.
You told me you needed to go get your kids were coming over at 6:30.
Their mom just texted me. I'm gonna ask her to just meet me at the gym. They're gonna be in the kids club because I love my kids, but I love myself too. So they're gonna meet me at the gym. I'm gonna work out. They'll be in the kids club. I get done. I get them a smoothie. We come back here. We have a good time.
What's the kids club?
Oh, it's kids zone. It's like when parents work out, we can put the kids over there, and the kids club closes at 8 p.m. So that makes me work out harder actually too. So
okay, all right. Well, good. Enjoy your children. I hope everyone enjoyed today's show.
Me too.
Ethan, I really, really, really appreciate you showing up for me today. And you're always welcome. And I think because I don't have a job and you do, you should Uber Eats me some food over here. I do
like Tap 42?
No, not Tap 42. I'd rather have the pho place.
Oh yeah, that place is good.
Yeah, or the Peruvian steakhouse up there, or Argentinian steakhouse.
Yes. Yeah, that place is really good too. I don't think it's
okay.
Peruvian.
So, all right. So I'll just text you my address, and then you can just Uber Eats it on over. Okay. Everyone else out there, you guys have a beautiful week. This was a great Wednesday hump day show, and I appreciate every single one of you for showing up for us. Blessings to you, Philip. I'm so proud of you. And
thank you.
I watch your journey from afar, and it's really great to sit down and talk to you in person. And Ethan, you're exceeding expectations, but I always knew that you were a star.
Yeah,
so that's right. I look forward, because you're just beginning, to see where you and your family go. And I trust and believe that you and your girlfriend will become a power couple, and your children will be lucky to have you as a father. So keep up the good work. Keep in touch, and I'll be texting you later.
All right.
I love you guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
Do you want to do the outro?
What do I